Hey, this is Rocket Brain Surgeon, and today we're looking at the KV-2. We're following Garbad around. He's on mines in a Tier 6 battle. He wrote a review and guide on it. The link is in the comments. Go check it out. The KV-2 has one defining feature that makes it unique. Wait for it. Wait. Oh yeah. 676 damage on a penetration. The KV-2 mounts the 152. He's shooting HE out of it, and since it's a Tier 6 battle and he was shooting at the side of the Type 58, he had a large chance of penetrating. He penetrated the top of that tank and just one-shot it. Because you're throwing that huge HE shell at enemies, on the last hit for the T-150, not only did he deal 400 damage, he knocked out the driver, commander, gunner, optics, and radio on one hit. That's just completely ridiculous. Now, the downsides of the tank are its terrible aim time, terrible accuracy, terrible mobility, and terrible armor. That refrigerator-looking turret on top is just awful and easy to penetrate. Everybody knows the reload time is a ridiculous 24 seconds, so after they see you fire, they are going to come after you. They know they have a ton of time to try and take you out. The KV-2 is also able to mount the 107. It's a more friendly looking gun with 167 penetration, 300 alpha. The T-150 can mount it. However, you're still stuck with a tank that has no armor, no camo, no mobility. Why wouldn't you go for the biggest gun possible? You want to have some upside to a tank. You don't want to have something that's strictly worse than the KV-1S or the T-150. Now, there's a couple things that went on with that shot that might not be incredibly obvious. First, the HE only did 280 damage. That would be fine, except the gun is on a 24-second reload, which makes that pretty abysmal. Non-penetrations are capable of doing very low damage such as that. The other thing that you've probably noticed by now is that he is snapshotting quite a bit with an incredibly inaccurate gun. I'm not going to go into the accuracy mechanics too terribly much. I will say that he is going for a more volume approach to shooting, with the theory being that the more shots you get in the air, the better it's going to be for you. Since it's an HE shell, and since the gun is pretty inaccurate, if it just makes contact with the enemy, more or less, greatly simplified, it's going to deal damage. So you don't really care about picking out a module, you just want to make contact, and you want to get as many shells off as possible. A quick note about snapshotting. You do want to snapshot as the reticle is getting smaller. You don't want to release the shot when the reticle is at absolute full bloom and staying at full bloom, because that will result in a shot going wildly astray. As you can see here, once the KV-2 gets up to speed, it has acceptable straight line speed. The mobility is mostly hurt due to that horrible traverse. Both traversing the turret and traversing the tracks is going to be pretty bad. The camouflage on the tank is going to be pretty bad as well. In a brawl, the tank is going to be fairly poor. You want to make sure that you have something to hide behind. You want to make sure that enemies can't encircle you. There is no way that you can traverse fast enough to keep up with enemies. The damage per minute on the tank is fairly low. It's 2200, but that would assume that all of the HE shells penetrate, and as we know, that's not even close to happening. So there's no doubt that the tank is not great. However, when it does work and you pen a couple shots in a battle, it's hilarious fun. Here Garbad is making use of auto-aim. He's done this several times in the game so far. He's actually taking time to aim in since they are not focused on him. He feels comfortable using auto-aim there because it's a Hellcat and because the Hellcat is actually going to experience severe overmatching problems. It's an auto-penetration as long as he makes contact with anywhere on the tank. All hail the KV-2, King of the Derps. Hope you enjoyed. Happy hunting.